Well, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. The last few weeks I've been talking a lot about nursing continuing education. I had a workshop going on, and I want to thank you for, being a part of that journey. I want to shift gears today, though, and talk about an exciting event that's coming up April 8th through the 11th in New Orleans, or as the natives would say, Nolans. Anywho, I want to let you know that Nurses Feed Their Young is going to be exhibiting for the very first time at the American Organization of Nursing Leaders Conference in New Orleans. This is a national conference expected to gather about 4,000 nursing leaders. So I don't know about you, but I think that's a very exciting place to be. And I've never attended this conference, and I've certainly never exhibited at this conference. But I want to just share with you quickly three key reasons why I have chosen to attend and participate in the American Organization of Nursing Leadership Conference 2024. So as you pop in today, please feel free to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And because I love to connect with you. And if you're catching us on the podcast, thank you for listening in. Now, one of the main reasons, of course, that I would like to be among nursing leaders is because I want to listen in on what's the state of the union. According to nursing leadership, what are their biggest struggles? What are their biggest pain points with staffing, retention, training, orientation, new hire onboarding, all of these things. I want to hear what's going on in the trenches from the nursing leaders who are responsible for that. So for me, it's very, very important that we that Nurses Feed Their Young show up at the Aonl conference, because these are the people that I want to serve. These are the people who need the services that Nurses Feed Their Young has to offer in the form of leadership development. We want to cultivate leaders. We want to innovate nursing continuing education and use it as a solution to employee retention and new hire onboarding. And we also want to develop nurse entrepreneurs. So some people might think that piece about developing nurse entrepreneurs is contra to supporting healthcare organizations. And what I want to say to that is, it is absolutely not. I think when nurses have the opportunity to create businesses that allow them to earn more income while they continue working at the healthcare facility, they're more excited about life in general, right? They're achieving their own goals. So I would encourage healthcare organizations to think a little bit broader about the needs of the individual nurse. And before you consider nurse entrepreneurship to be somehow contra to your goals of nursing recruitment and retention, consider the idea that nurses are holistic creatures, and we love to grow. We love to learn, and we love to teach. And certainly we're very entrepreneurial in spirit, very industrious. So I would want to take my hat off and applaud any nursing leaders and healthcare organizations who embrace entrepreneurship, because nurse entrepreneurs are the innovators for a better future for all of us tomorrow, for our profession tomorrow. So those are kind of the three pillars of Nurses Feed Their Young, right? We want to cultivate nursing leaders, innovate CE, and also develop nurse entrepreneurs. So that is really what we stand for. And we have some innovative solutions, and we're ready to share those. So if you're going to be attending the American Organization of Nursing Leadership Conference 2024 in New Orleans, Louisiana, I encourage you to stop by booth number 1411 and take a selfie with us at the Nurses Feed Their Young booth, because we would love to connect with you. We've got some cool things that we're going to share at the event. And one of my favorite things is connecting with individuals and having those selfies. That is one of the most fun things that I get to do. So if you are going to be at the Aonl conference, please remember to stop by booth number 1411. Now, another reason that I want to be at the Aonl conference in New Orleans this year is because I think it's important to share the message of Nurses Feed Their Young. So I want to be, number one, I want to be listening to what nursing leaders are looking for, what their pain points and challenges are, so that we can adjust our offerings to do what? Meet their needs. Because Nurses Feed Their Young is an organization that wants to serve. We want to serve specifically not only nursing leaders, but nurses in general. We want to lead or bring out that leader in every nurse. Okay, so that's one of the things that we really believe in. So in cultivating nursing leaders, we have the perspective that every nurse is a leader. So we want to be sharing what Nurses Feed Their Young is all about, the solutions that we have that we can bring to healthcare organizations that are designed to transform nursing culture from a culture where nurses eat their young to a culture where nurses do what? Feed their young and embrace their young and cherish their young like a diamond to be polished. This is what is so important to us, because I saw an article from the Becker Report the other day that said 800,000 nurses are expected to leave the workforce by 2027, I believe. And that's just another astounding number. And it's going to add insult to injury if and when that happens, right? Nursing has literally been riddled with chronic staffing shortages for decades. Nurses are tired, and we're tired of hearing promises, but you know what we're also tired of? We're tired of a toxic culture that also stresses us out and, adds anxiety and feelings of depression to nurses before they even come to work. So this is something that needs to be tended to. In a LinkedIn poll that I did last year, just right, on social media, almost 700 people responded, 700 nurses, to a poll question that asked, have you ever left a position, a nursing position, because of a toxic work environment? 86% of respondents said yes, they had, and another 7% said, I haven't yet, but I would if I could. Guys, that's more than 90% of nurses who are experiencing a lot of stress just from the culture and work environment among nurses. So this is a big piece of what Nurses Feed Their Young is all about. We want to create and help organizations create and sustain meaningful work environments that are safe for nurses to be in, regardless of your number of years experience. If you're new, you should be embraced. If you're a seasoned nurse floating to a unit that you're unfamiliar with, you should be embraced. And you know what? If you're a seasoned nurse and you've been there for 25 or 30 years, or even 5, we need to embrace you and celebrate you for all the good things that you're doing, right? So all of this is part of Nurses Feed Their Young. We shouldn't be tearing each other down. We should be building each other up every single day. So this is the message that we're going to be sharing, along with some tools and strategies, to make it happen. Because here's the thing. I think we've all heard, hey, we're going to do this thing and we're going to fix, the work environment. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But if we don't have tools and we don't have methods and we don't have strategies to do that, it's just blowing a lot of smoke. And nurses are tired of that. We need clear solutions that and strategies to take action so that we can resolve these things, right? So I'm going to be listening to nursing leaders. I'm going to be sharing the message of Nurses Feed Their Young with some dear team members of mine who are also on board with Nurses Feed Their Young. And lastly, you know what? I'm going to be having fun and I'm going to be learning. So most nurses are lifelong learners. If you haven't decided if you're going yet, and if you're feeling like, wow, this just may be for me, a place where 4,000 nursing leaders are going to get together and talk about real issues and real solutions, join us at the Aonl Conference 2024 in New Orleans, Louisiana. I would love to see you there. And so as you reflect on this message, I hope that you will just think about joining us at Aonl. And I also want to just give you a little whisper of something to come. But Nurses Feed Their Young is cooking up an amazing Nurses Month celebration gift. It's going to be absolutely free to as many nurses and healthcare organizations as want to take part in it. But I want to encourage you, go ahead and subscribe to our LinkedIn page, Nurses Feed Their Young, so that you don't miss a thing, or follow us on YouTube. Check us out. Follow us on our Facebook page or even on the podcast. You are not going to want to miss what's coming for Nurses Month 2024 that Nurses Feed Their Young is cooking up just for nurses. Why are we doing it? Because we love them. We love them and we want to support them. Thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you soon. Bye.